you can't throw shade at someone's apartment. Like, no. It's like a studio apartment on Central Park is going to cost the same amount as like, you know, a 2-bedroom in Brooklyn, whatever it is. Like, you can't throw shade.
Virtual reality. Taylor from Selling the City, I am so excited you're here because this show, it took over. Everyone is having so much fun with it. And I feel so much of that is to your credit because you, from episode 1, were as open as all these books.
I mean, you're not exaggerating. Like, I always knew I was an open person. Like, I would like sneeze and be like, I have to tell someone I sneezed. You know, like, chill. I was always very open, but like watching this, I was like, oh, wow. But it is who I am, so.
And rewatching it, was there any moments you're like, oh, I said that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many times can a person say breadwinner? My God. Good Lord. Let's like reel it in. It's not how I intended it, but you know, it's how it landed. So I'm like, maybe I need to slow down a little bit.
But it's hard, and you were just saying your truth though, which is very refreshing, or saying what you were feeling at the time, which is very good. And you were so open about your relationship, about your like financial struggles, about everything.
Yeah.
What was there something that like was one aspect, something that the majority of the fans reached out to you about the most? You know what I mean?
That's such a great question. I think the most overarching theme is just thank you so much for being vulnerable and being a person who is on a television show where a lot of people just come in and they're like, I'm the best, this is the reason I'm the greatest, and no one else can compare. And I just wanted to come in and just be myself and let my business and my deals speak for, you know, and not try to puff anything up and just really show who I am and what my story is. So most of the messages that I've received are just thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for being a woman in business who is succeeding and getting ahead, but still showing that vulnerability, that they're not mutually exclusive.
I love that. And I feel like also what was refreshing to me to see, because when you watch a lot of reality shows, it's everyone kind of being like, oh, well, my 5th jet and everything like that.
Right, no.
But I'm like, no, everyone is like either like smoke and mirrorsing, or a lot of bluff. So I love that you were really honest about like, I need a loan.
Right. So, and that word is tough for me, but it was in advance, but it's all taken care of now.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Right. Yes. So, look, it's really not uncommon at all in the real estate industry when you're working in one of the most expensive cities in the world on commission. You don't make a salary. Markets go soft. Markets, all of a sudden, you're not making as much money as you were. It's not uncommon to take what people call as a draw. That is more common in commercial real estate. In residential real estate, it is called an advance. So I didn't handle it that well, but you know, all it takes is one deal, and then all of a sudden you're back and you're good.
That makes so much more sense, because that was like the way it was like handled on the show when Eleanor was shocked and everything like that. It made me feel, I'm like, oh, this is like not something you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? It made it seem like it was like much more like red alarm. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that to her credit, I understand why she was like, whoa, what are you doing? Why, you know, where I was coming from, I was so used to operating from a place of being an individual agent at a different firm before. And then when I came to Element, originally I was an individual agent. So I'm very used to just going to the decision maker to ask for what is needed or to talk about something if we need to collaborate and partner. So I should have absolutely gone to her first, but also at the same token, she and I were not in a good place.
Yeah.
So that's like a very sensitive thing to go to someone where you're not in a good place. You don't feel necessarily, you know, the most comfortable. But
also, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't want either of us to say something we would regret because of the place we're in, where like if it was more Sunshine and Daisy's time, everyone would be like, oh, it's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But again, to her credit, she came in and she really helped, and she didn't just turn away or anything like that. So it was very much appreciated, and we're in a great place now.
Well, that's what, because when we chatted with her too, she loves all you, and it's like it's almost a thing where it's like she loves all the girls, but because she's the boss, she has to give the tough love.
Sure.
Sometimes, or it's just like a lot of tensions where you're mixing friendship and business and everything. It's hard to kind of have the lines always be as they are. Too.
Correct, and that's also just her personality. Yeah. She's a tough cookie. She's born and bred New Yorker, and it's one reason that she's gotten to the place that she has in business is that, you know, she doesn't take anyone's BS, and she, you know, it's to her credit. But that's how she operates in relationships. You know, so she's very direct and to the point, and can be tough, and that's part of her charm.
Speaking of charm, I love that when you walked in, you were like, "Have the Southern Charm kids been here?" And I was like, "How do you? What are we gonna?" Wait, so explain to me how you know Shep.
Oh, okay. So, I know Shep from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
So we both went to Vanderbilt. We didn't cross paths at the same time. He got his master's there, and he was, I was living and working in Nashville. He was studying at Vanderbilt, and we ran in similar circles. So we just kind of like knew each other, not best friends, not close, but knew each other. Right.
Did you reach out to him for reality TV advice? Because he's been on for a while.
Yes, absolutely.
Did he give you some good ones?
He did. He did. He connected me with my entertainment attorney, and then I reconnected with him after the show came out. Because going into filming, I thought, I'm good. I don't drink. I'm not going to say anything that's like crazy. But then after the show came out, I was like, I said some things I wish I hadn't said, or did some things I wish I hadn't done. And so it's just nice to connect with someone. And I think that's one thing I've learned in recovery is it is important to reach out to people who have gone before you in a similar experience.
And I mean, I love Shep. If there is anyone to reach out to about regretting something you've done on TV, he's a good cookie. I think he has. Did he give you good advice about like having that little like anxiety after?
Totally. Yeah. You just you ride the roller coaster and you ride the wave and you don't get too caught up in it, basically. So
because you were mentioning and on the show too, you're so open about recovery. Was there a conversation you had in your head before signing up for the show that you're like, is this the best thing for me, or did you feel you felt good?
No, it just is the way that I am, and anything that I've gone through, for better or worse, I usually share about it as long as it's not at someone's expense, because it's the only way to help people and to pay it forward. And I'm not someone who's going to tie something up in a bow just to make other people feel comfortable. It's just not the way I am.
I love that, and I feel also it has been more open of a conversation lately on reality television, of people expressing this, because it used to be a thing where I was like,
totally,
big secret, and you're like, no, this is something everyone deals with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I challenge you, like, find one person who isn't somehow touched by addiction, and look, of course there are I could have gone without saying like lesions all over my body. Like, of course I didn't have to lean in so much, but like I'm happy that I was authentic and shared what I've been through.
Yeah, no, and that's important. And did it feel kind of therapeutic for you to get it out in that way as well? Or is it
it always does. It always does. Like, because it's a good reminder of who you are, where you come from, why you go forward. You don't want to ever forget where you've come from. So
I love that. And I love also that you came onto reality TV as a reality TV fan also, because we're talking about Roni as well.
Totally.
Have you mixed and mingled with any of the new girls, or do you just know them from the show? Because I mean, I just love them from the show as well.
I just know them from the show. I don't know any of them personally at all. Like, it's like 2 degrees of separation, but no, I don't know them.
Do you, because I just thought of, and now she no longer lives there.
Yes.
But Raquel threw a lot of shade at Uba's apartment.
I know.
What did you think of that? Because in my mind, I'm like, she lived, I think, in like Columbus Circle area. I'm like, she can see Central Park. I don't care what's happening here. But from a real estate perspective?
Look, you can't throw shade at someone's apartment. Like, no. It's like a studio apartment on Central Park is going to cost the same amount as like, a 2-bedroom in Brooklyn, whatever it is. Like, you can't throw shade. It
is funny too, but it is such I guess a New York drama thing, because then Uba threw shade at Bryn's apartment.
Totally.
So they really,
they all throw shade. Yeah. It's like low hanging fruit. And by the way, when I had an apartment before, people could throw shade at mine because like my finishes were beautiful, but like, oh, she rents, so like she didn't buy it, but she's been there 7 years, but the furniture is like a little old. So gosh, I'm glad, we didn't film in my apartment, but
it's so funny what people can find to like.
Truly,
I was like in the city, I'm like,
truly.
everyone rents.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning, because this is what I really wanted to talk with you about too. Can you explain what happened with your apartment, because it's heartbreaking?
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me here and to be able to give me the space to be able to talk about it. The short version is that we lost our home in Tribeca. We had lived there for 7 years. There was a pretty bad and severe apartment fire. It started in the basement. It burned for 4 to 5 hours. So everything, the FDNY, they had to go in and like rip up floors and walls to find all of the sparks. And at one point it had reignited. It was like a pretty bad fire. Certainly nowhere near California, and I would never, it's apples and oranges, the level of devastation. But it is a disruption, and it is hard to feel grounded when your home all of a sudden isn't your home anymore.
Yeah.
So,
and with you saying they were digging up the sparks, it was electrical?
We don't know.
They don't
There's
know?
an FDNY investigation going on. We're happy. We're lucky to be safe.
Yeah.
We lived in a hotel for a little bit. And
that's expensive, though.
Oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's really just like an administrative nightmare dealing with insurance. We are in a place of privilege where we were able to go back into our apartment to try to salvage a few things in remediation. But, you know, we lost a lot. And we had a friend, I had posted about it on Instagram. The power of social media is insane. And I had a friend that I went to Vanderbilt with, and she said, we have an apartment in New York. We're not using it. Please stay there until you guys can put together a plan.
That's such a lifesaver. But were you guys in the apartment when it started?
Yes, we were asleep.
So how did you guys just wake up to commotion, or?
We woke up to our dog Mac barking ferociously. He's not a barker. And so we turn on the lights, and there's just a cloud of very thick smoke. So you know, like this isn't a fire drill.
Yeah.
This is happening. And the FDNY responded within seconds, and they were there. And but yeah, he was our first alert.
Oh my God! What even went through your? I don't even know what would go through my mind with that.
Honestly, I was fast asleep, which is kind of a blessing because I wasn't processing what was going on. I was just in a place of
grab dog and go.
I have work tomorrow, so I need my laptop and my chargers, and then passport, everything like that. That's all I was worried about. We need to stay connected to life tomorrow.
Yeah. And up before this point, I mean, you were living there for 7 years. So I'm sure you love the apartment and the building and everything like that. So it's just like.
And our neighbors and our community, and it's not this stuff. And maybe I'm in a place of privilege to be able to say that because we can go back in and try to salvage a few things, but it's just your home.
Have you been able to be in conversation with your neighbors? Like, how are they doing?
We are all on a text thread. We were all super close, like not normal, as in like the way like the Friends show is, where everyone's hanging out and some of our best friends and everything. So we all talk and everything, and I felt the most for my neighbors who had young children because they're wanting to feel settled and they have to show up to school and
Oh my God. And then having to be like, it's annoying enough for you guys with a dog to go from a hotel to a friend's place and everything like that, but to do that with a kid needing all that space and everything.
Right.
Oh my
God. One neighbor had a 6-week-old newborn. Another neighbor has 2 kids. Another neighbor had just moved to New York maybe 6 months ago with her kids. So, you know, it's destabilizing, but we're all going to land on our feet. And I'm choosing to reframe this as it's okay. It's going to be okay. It's not okay yet, but it will be.
But that's a beautiful way to look at it because I don't, like you were saying, it's so unsettling. Like, you just wouldn't be able to have like your bearings with anything too.
Yes, and I have my moments where I just look at my husband and tear up, but no, I went to an energy healer and she was like, okay, let's reframe this.
Okay.
Yes, so.
I'm all for this.
And my husband was like, a lot of guys in general, or anyone would be like, an energy healer. No, she's amazing. And she's very like grounded and calm. And Peter said I came back from her and I just had like a light around me. So
I love that some people in the city run to Botox for clarity. You run to energy healers. Honestly,
both.
Okay, both. The power of both. Yes. I mean, I guess it might even be impossible. Is the hope to one day be able to move back into that, or I guess they aren't able to have anybody?
The thing that's the most challenging for anyone going through any kind of a devastation, and I've talked to one of my best friends lost her entire home and community in the Pacific Palisades, is when the goalpost keeps changing. You know, you think it's going to be this long, and then does it make sense to go back? Do you feel safe to go back? The short answer is we don't know. We just don't know yet.
Is there do you feel the building and everyone involved has been responsive in a way you would like, or is there a message you want to send out to them to maybe have them like be more proactive on it? You know what I mean?
I don't know if I have an answer to that yet.
Okay, it's so hopeful. Yeah.
It's a tough situation.
Oh God.
So.
And is it a thing where it's like kind of because you're on the text thread? Is it you and the neighbors kind of coming together to kind of be all in one team to kind of get the ducks in a row for everything?
I think we're information sharing at this point. What are you know, like, and resource sharing as well. Like, what are you guys, who are you using to be able to try to remediate this? What kind of communications are you hearing on your end? A lot of people just went ahead and got out of their lease, signed new leases. Okay. We still have our lease in place, and we're gonna kind of see how things unfold. We'll see.
It's also just very, I mean, there's no good timing for that to happen, but very insane your timing of like you becoming a reality star in the same month you leaving your home. Like, it seems it's very not real.
I know. I'm like, raise your hand if you're actually on like a Times Square billboard, but you don't have your home to go back to. Like, what? You just have to find humor in it.
But I mean, this is, I feel like, just like so much at once happening for you, and like it's like such a high and a very low.
Right.
But I guess it's good that you have your coworkers kind of as family to help rally around you as well.
Totally. Yeah, and I think that you also have to have like a bigger belief and faith that like no matter what, as hard as things can get, in some ways like everything will work out, everything will be more than okay. And I just have this overarching faith and trust that I am being taken care of, even if I don't fully understand it.
Yeah. And it's so, I'm wondering, is it interesting for you then to be working in real estate while also not having a place to live? And does it make you look at buildings even, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Is it changing how you look at, because you were even saying before people would make fun of your building if it was like chart, like.
Right.
Like,
it's interesting. What it has given me the opportunity to do is be in the shoes of my clients and to really understand that no matter how great of a real estate broker you are, no one's going to be keeping their eye on the market and the inventory quite like the person who is looking for the apartment. So of course you want to stay in front of it and send options and find off-market options and everything, but it's tough. We loved our apartment. We loved our building. We'll find something. We'll land. We're in a beautiful place right now temporarily, and it's quite the situation.
And 7 years in Tribeca, it feels like that's like your guys' neighborhood. Would you want to ideally wind up back?
Yes, I find myself, we're staying in Soho right now, which is amazing too, of course. But I find myself like, wandering back to Tribeca and be like, hey friends, I know. So I think a lot of times too, like we don't have kids and a lot of my friends have kids and I'm like, don't forget about me.
Oh, that's true.
But they don't. Everyone's been so great and so supportive, and I'm choosing to explore more in Soho as a temporary resident,
make the
which
most
is
of it.
fun. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like restaurant in Soho that you're loving now?
We love Raoul's. We always have loved Raoul's. But it was really fun the other night after dinner. We popped into like McNally's bookstore, which I love a bookstore and love reading. And so to be able to go there at like 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, everything in Tribeca closes at like 7. This is amazing.
You're like, I'm partying.
Right.
Yes.
Like, so you got to have fun with the process. It's,
I'm glad you're making the most of it. And I mean, what I'm hoping for is for you guys to figure out what happened and also to get a new apartment, but also to get a second season of Selling the City.
Oh, I hope so too. Yeah. There's so much more to show and to talk about, I think, and we're really just scratching the surface.
Well, that's because even when Jordan and Giselle came in, Jordan was saying she got in a fight with Jade at Giselle's party. I was like, what?
Oh, there's never a dull moment. It's never a dull moment. I know. And like after the fire happened, I was like, guys, I got to take a step back from the group for a little bit just to like take a beat because everyone has different opinions and everything like that. So I'm certainly still on the team, but I just was like, with all the drama and everything, I just need a minute.
You need to be. And I'm glad you've been able to watch reality TV through it all because you were able to catch up. You were able to watch Roni, everything.
Truly. Yeah. I know one of my friends in recovery is so funny. She says that like watching reality TV is like taking a Xanax. Sometimes you just turn your mind off, which is great.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, like it really is.
Do you hope all the Roni girls come back? Because that's a lot of, because I don't know, because you're not now a reality TV cast. You know the casting process. Their production company posted a casting call.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh,
so we don't know
wow.
if that means that they're just adding more.
Okay. Look, I think it's a really strong cast. I really do. And I like a lot of them. I like that so many of them are like downtown people or downtown people that moved uptown. Yeah. I think it's a strong cast and I really enjoy this season and I like the group. I think I saw that maybe Rebecca is not coming.
She left, yes.
She left, okay. So look, like throw someone in there who's like a little spicy or a little bit different. And yeah, I think it's a good thing.
You could always double dip, Netflix and Bravo. That'd be a fun
Call
mix.
me, yeah.
And what are I mean, I feel like you have, like you're saying, you're having a very beautiful outlook on this whole thing, which is very commendable.
Right.
Is there anything you're hoping for in 2025 from this, like, besides answers kind of the main, just clarity on it, or?
I think just stability, just stability, just a place that is home, that feels like home, that feels safe, and so.
And you and the boy are doing good? Because I know you guys opened up a lot about it on the show too. I was like, because of the apartment, I forgot to get into that. But
I know. That's like a whole nother conversation. No, we're doing well. We're doing well. Who would have thought that like filming a reality TV show and then a fire would help bring people together? But we're doing well, and he's been such a good sport.
But I feel it's two things not a lot of people experience that are able to realize your support system is there too, which is very powerful.
Totally. And like hoping there's a season 2, like he has a lot of like dimension to him too that people didn't get to see. So he's like an amazing dog dad, he's an amazing cook and chef, and he's very creative. So I think that, and he's funny, and people didn't get to see that. So
Okay, well, we're very excited for a second season for you all.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. I hope people will like go watch it start to finish and like hit the love button. Because evidently that makes a difference.
All right, are you still craving a little more tea? Evan, tell them where to go.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Page 6 YouTube to check out all of our exclusive virtual reality interviews and more.